It's another GASGAS video. This time it's actually my bike, which I've been really excited about. I've been watching the tracking, and then it turned up yesterday. I built it, rushed out here to the woods to see what it's like. This is the GASGAS MXC6. So the one I rode previously in the other video was the ECC6, which was the 29er version, long travel. This is the shorter travel version with mullet, which I think for me, and where I ride the most, which is up here, is going to be just the ticket. So this is the MXC6, which is the mullet bike from GASGAS. The spec of this bike is pretty nice. It's got T-type SRAM EXO with the auto shift features and the coast shift features, because this bike uses the SRAM motor, which all integrates to the AXS architecture. So cool little features there that I'm going to test out today. Carbon bar on this bike, 800mm wide. I think that's a 35mm stem, which personally I like a 42.5, but I'm going to test the 35. They feel pretty good, nice sweep, looks like 8 degrees, something like that. Code RSCs, absolute staple. These are brakes I've used time and time again, and that's with pretty big rotors. I think they're the 2.3mm thick, or sorry, the 2mm thick rotors as well, so they just feel really positive, really sharp. I've swapped the grips out for Bergtech Minar grips just because they're the ones I like. Physique saddle, I'll get some miles in on this and see how my bum feels. DVO suspension, EXO cranks, carbon frame, Newman wheels, which I haven't ridden before. We'll see how they go. They've got straight pull spokes, which again, I haven't ridden in a long, long time. And then the DVO suspension. So not lacking anywhere on this build. Tyres, I've actually fitted some tyres that I just wanted to test, which was the Specialized Hillbillies. Bit more of a spike mud tyre, good for this time of year. So I want to try all those things, and I'm going to be as subjective as I can because it is a new bike. It has got new components. I'm not used to the geometry, so this is just a video of me seeing and learning the bike, basically. So let's go and do that right now. First few runs, I picked a track. I picked a track with big ruts that Ben just fell over in, and actually this must be a left-hander here. Is so deep that my mech is actually running on the rut the whole way round, and I can hear it doing its. So SRAM EXO T-type or AXS T-type has got this feature where if you impact the mech gets out the way, it moves out the way, and I can hear it going zzz, zzz, zzz in every corner as I'm basically cornering on my mech. So yeah, mechs are great for cornering on. So I've done a few runs now, even though I set my sag up in the shop. That's only static sag, so whilst you're static just on the bike, not moving around, whereas what I want to do is adjust the dynamic sag. So at the moment the bike's not sitting in its travel enough, it's a little bit too hard, and that's with all the compression settings off. So it means I can let a bit of pressure out the fork and shock and rely a little bit more on the hydraulics to hold me up. So I'm going to take some pressure out the shock and out the fork and see if that balances the bike up a bit, makes me feel a bit more in control. But grip wise, the bike's phenomenal. These tyres are a new favourite of mine, I think. Instantly, you could tell how grippy they were. This is the right conditions for them, probably quite loamy, but it is really frozen, so I don't know. We'll sort the suspension out and then see how we go. So a couple of things to note. I'm 5'10". This is a medium or medium stroke large with mullet. The mullet wheel makes a big difference to me because I'm all arms and short legs. So 29ers for me I find they stand me up in corners and I can't like muscle them around because I don't have the leverage from the sort of waist down. Whereas a mullet just works way better for me. So I think that was the right choice. But the other thing that's the right choice is how I've got my cockpit set up. And I know this will probably trigger a few people, but these AXS pods, I can customize what buttons do what. So on the left, my bottom button does my dropper post up and down. My mode button is the top one, so that changes the mode. On the right, I've got shift up as the bottom one. So that's make the gears harder. So I'm going up the ratios. And then to shift down, I've got the top one, which Ben's shaking his head. That is correct. All the pros run them like that. Well, I don't know that, but maybe they do. I think it's quite a cool feature of the AXS system is that you can kind of customize things. You can even customize the buttons to be a long press or a short press to have different functions. So I need to spend some time with these pods. There's also replaceable buttons as well. I might swap them out and try them as well. I'm very happy with this bike. I knew I would be. All the numbers on paper said it was going to be a good bike, and it really is. I felt up to speed quite quickly then. That was probably 20 minutes of just pure laps of the same track, which is what you should do when you've got a new bike. I think to set it up is ride the same track over and over again and make little tiny adjustments, and your speed goes up. You get more and more used to the bike. So that's what I did, and I think we're almost there. There's a few little tweaks I'm going to make, like I'm going to put the longest stem on and probably a few little suspension changes here and there, but overall that was phenomenal. And for me, over the ECC, I think that was the right choice of bike for me. So you'll see me on this a lot more on the videos, I'm sure. But yeah, we'll catch you soon.